No way they actually do this, as it has been rumored that the Eagles are trying to bring back a former legend to this team to help them solidify their offense and bring another championship home in 2025. Who is this player? Well, we'll break it down here on another edition of Eagles Digest. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Eagles Digest to give you guys everything surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles, and it is the NFL trade deadline, and we have so much coverage for you surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles as we've gotten wild trades around the league, including the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles might not be done heading into the 4 o'clock window. But before we get into this video, we are currently at 873 subscribers on the channel. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers before the Eagles face off against the Packers on Monday Night Football. So if you guys are watching this video and you haven't subscribed to this channel, you guys better hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on everything surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles deadline and where you see them going in 2025. But getting right into this video, as Howie Roseman is always working the phones for the Philadelphia Eagles, I am currently just making sure that there is no breaking news that is breaking during the recording of this episode. But Howie Roseman is definitely going to be wheeling and dealing, and a underrated move that Howie Roseman is looking to make is get a backup tight end back on this Philadelphia Eagles team, because we know that Grant Calcaterra hasn't been doing well for the Philadelphia Eagles backing up Dallas Goedert. We know Dallas Goedert has injury concerns, so having another guy there will be crucial for the Eagles to have a security blanket for Jalen Hurts, and a guy that was really rumored among social media was Zach Ertz, as Ertz is getting older and slower. He still knows how to get open and make tough catches, but with quarterback Jayden Daniels now out, the chances of Washington generating any momentum offensively with Marcus Mariota appear remote. That was Dean Jones at Fansided talking about Zach Ertz and what his outlook is looking like with the Washington Commanders. Well, the Commanders, obviously, with Jayden Daniels going down, they are not going anywhere anytime soon in this season. So having Zach Ertz signing that 1-year deal extension with the Washington Commanders this offseason, I definitely think the Eagles are looking to add Zach Ertz back on this team because he is a legend among the Philadelphia Eagles community. If you haven't checked out my short that I made on Eagles Digest diving into that, just check that out as well. But with Zach Ertz coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles, I definitely think that this could be a move that could really solidify this Eagles offense. So the reason why is that Zach Ertz has been able to do so well with his blocking, but also be a good teammate as well for Jayden Daniels in Washington, knowing that he has the community behind him in Philadelphia. Everybody loves Zach Ertz here. They wish that he was on the team when they won the Super Bowl last year, while the Eagles are trying to be poised for another championship run this time around. And I think adding Zach Ertz and trying to pry him away from Washington, a division rival, would be huge for the Philadelphia Eagles, because he just is some guy who can just be a really good locker room presence. He has the, chemistry with Brandon Graham. He has the chemistry with, Jake Elliott and Lane Johnson as well. He knows, the offense with Nick Sirianni when he played in 2021. As well as Jalen Hurts and DeVonta Smith, and as well as his counterpart in Dallas Goedert. Looking at his stats so far this season: 31 receptions, 291 yards, and 4 touchdowns. It has been a little inconsistent for Zach Ertz this season because he's been playing with both Jayden Daniels and Marcus Mariota. So he hasn't been able to get the volume of receptions and yards that he did back in 2024, where he really just had a really good season, getting almost 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. So Zach Ertz, having him going back to the Philadelphia Eagles, he won't get a lot of volume, but he will definitely be poised for a lot of, leadership opportunities with the Philadelphia Eagles, because he knows that he could still play. He definitely knows how to still play tight end and at a high caliber level, and that helps Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts as well, because we know Dallas Goedert does have an injury history, and the Eagles are going to have to look out for the tight end position moving forward. Definitely know that a lot of Eagles fans are hammering that Zach Ertz is going to be back in Philadelphia, and I am one of them because I really want him to get another championship with his hometown team. And pairing him up with Dallas Goedert could be huge for the camaraderie around the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that the familiarity is kind of the theme of Howie Roseman's deadline so far. Jalen Phillips is familiar with Vic Fangio's defense. Jair Alexander's familiar with Christian Parker. Michael Carter II is familiar with Joe Douglas. Why not add more to that theme with Zach Ertz and pairing him up with his former teammate Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts, and really just ride this offense all the way to the Super Bowl once again, because he knows what it takes to win. He knows what it takes to lead, and he knows that he can come up in the biggest moments. I think he's one of the most big-time clutch tight ends in NFL history, and he definitely has a lot more cut out for him in Philadelphia. Having a reunion with Zach Ertz would just help a lot of fans kind of just feel that, they have their guy back. They have Zach Ertz back, who had one of the, best playoff runs in 2017 and really helped this Eagles team win that championship with that diving go-ahead touchdown against the New England Patriots back in 2017. So getting Zach Ertz back is paramount for this Philadelphia Eagles team. At time of recording, it is 2:30, so an hour and a half until we get to know what Howie Roseman is going to do, if he's adding any sort of players. It's definitely going to be interesting moving forward with that, but I wanted to reach this out to you guys regarding Zach Ertz. Would you want Zach Ertz back in Philadelphia? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Want to get your thoughts on Zach Ertz coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles potentially for this Super Bowl run. You obviously know that you have Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and Kylen Granson. Grant Calcaterra hasn't been able to fit the bill as the tight end too. Kylen Granson is kind of in there as a fullback, but he isn't the option at tight end two that the Eagles are wanting. So, they've called guys like, David Njoku, like Michael Mayer. But if you're going to want to pair someone who has the familiarity with this Eagles offense and this Eagles community as well, it's definitely number 86. Get him back into this Philadelphia Eagles locker room, pair him up with Brandon Graham, just have this reunion that the Eagles are really trying to kind of have with all of their players that they adding at this deadline. Continue the theme and get 86 back in Philadelphia, and let's get that championship in February. But that's going to do it for another edition of Eagles Digest. Appreciate all the support you guys are giving us on this channel. We're going to have so much coverage for you surrounding these Philadelphia Eagles moving forward after the deadline. We'll do a recap of the deadline moves and what the Eagles were able to do on this bye week. It was just a huge success for them. Now, when they weren't even playing, they had so much success with, this bye week, and I'll get all into that in a later video. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of this deadline, and we're going to have so much coverage for you. Any breaking news is going to be right here on Eagles Digest. Have a good one, guys.